a gem and then finesse the lost treasure.
Governments bless the bombs before they're sent. This happens from the top down, the government down. This is our answer.
Alright, you're listening to the sounds of 5 Steez, Nomad Carlos, and TSD on this one.
Anyone working on a bomb that...
Not the whole council. Instincts missing out for this one, but guess what? Instincts is in the building.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, and 5 Steez in the building.
Up, big up.
And every...
When did this one come out? When did this whole album come out?
Alright, that is my album Quietude or Ketuje, and that one came out in November. That's me and the producer Sona TWS out of Brazil.
To Brazil?
Yeah.
And you guys work on this whole project together?
Yeah. 11 songs, he produced all of it.
So how was it put together?
How was it put together?
Yeah.
Yo, we just been linking online and talking for a long time, and it just manifested. Like, it was around the Love and Art time we started talking.
Mm-hmm.
And, we started doing some songs, and yeah, eventually came out last year, and it's been, people love it. It's been received well. Some people might say it's my best work. If you listen to it, you can let me know whether you think that is true or not, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's been out since November.
Well, alright, so this is the first track I listened off of it.
Yeah.
Earlier today when you sent it to me, because you sent me some other albums which I already had, and
yeah.
And I just said, alright, let me just give this a listen, because I was kind of pressed for time.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard this one, I was just like, alright, I gotta play this tonight.
Yeah,
Gotta play this tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah man. So the guys on point as usual.
Respect.
Yeah, man. So how have you guys been? I mean, it's been not that it's been a long time since I've seen you, but I mean, the whole music scene over the past 2 years.
Yeah.
How have you guys weathered the storm? You have this album out, but how has it been overall over the past 2 years? Yeah,
it's been a weird time, This COVID time, a lot of things locked down, the place start open up now, but we kept going. Like, Council had a project that we put out in, I think, October last year as well, called Trilogy, and that came out on Equinox music label.
Yeah,
so
I had that on repeat.
Okay,
for
great.
months.
Yeah, 'cause I remember we spoke about it.
Yeah.
So we've been around still working. I put out Quietude, as you see. Nomad had an album that he put out in. That may have been in October as well. So we did have releases last year, but as you say, it's been a weird time because there've been no performances, no shows. A lot of things that we thought would happen haven't been happening. But now that the place is opening up, we can start getting back out. So as you see, we're doing an event called Jump Off next Saturday, which we've been doing so far. So that is a part of us, kind of embracing the new world that we're in and saying, all right, let's start back doing things for people to come out and enjoy themselves.
Okay, and the Jump Off is a total hip-hop event.
Yes, hip-hop and R&B.
Hip-hop and R&B.
Yeah.
So here's a funny thing about the Jump Off, right? So, Elmo, I know you know about Pay Attention.
Yeah.
The original idea behind Pay Attention was actually something like the Jump Off, just a hip-hop party where DJs basically playing hip-hop the whole night. It eventually evolved to where we added performances, because we're all performers and we wanted to basically be able to showcase our own. But the original concept behind Pay Attention is what the Jump Off is.
So do you think that this might come to that situation where you might have live performances eventually?
I can't speak for Steez, but I'm not too keen on that.
Well, what I think is, in terms of a show, we can do a spin-off. Like, we can have shows, like a stage show, right? But what I see happening with Jump Off,
maybe like a one-off or like a different event under the whole umbrella. But Jump Off is kind of its own thing, and we want to
just keep it that way.
Because while performances are necessary, I feel we also need the type of vibe where you can just go to a night spot and just share some hip hop for the whole night. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's been missing.
Yes.
In the grand scheme of things, not just for hip hop, but if you'd like to hear a particular type of music, and while you might get it in the mix at some point in some clubs, you don't get that nice in-depth thing.
Exactly, and that's why I felt the need to do something like this, because I mean, the place opened back up and I was thinking to myself, I like going to different places and having different experiences, but I want this experience for myself and for my peers, because as you say, you go out, you might hear a half hour of hip-hop but it's
Right.
not played a certain way, or you're not hearing the songs that you want to hear.
Right.
But if we curate something for ourselves and we know the culture, we bring in the right people, we can have that vibe and share it with people. So that's the entire idea.
Right.
And why that curation is important as well is that one of the things that has kind of, I think, led to sort of a slower recognition when we were more active is because a lot of the events tended to focus towards like hardcore hip hop supporters. So with the jump off, we're able to curate an experience where it appeals to the purists, but it also appeals to the casual listener. So
Right.
nobody feels like
Left out. Nobody feels left out.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So where is the event? Art. Where is the event? First of all, is it going to be at a constant place or is it going to be moving around?
Okay, right now it's at the bar on 30 Hayden Road,
Yeah.
and that is in New Kingston, Kingston 5. Easy to find, right around the corner from, the popular spot Django's. It is right there at the bar, 30 Hayden Road, the bar at Blue Maho Estate. So that's where it is right now.
Okay. And it's not going to be every week, but
Every other Saturday,
every
yes.
every other Saturday. So this Saturday is not the jump off, but next week Saturday,
June
4th is the next
yes.
one.
4th,
And we'll be
yeah.
taking a break for June 18th, and then we'll return in July, all being well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the DJ lineup like?
All right, well, we have Boom Draw, and we have Air Supply Chain, who is formerly DJ Sawandi.
Sawandi, that's his
Yeah.
name now. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I told you that, but he's going by a new name,
Air supply chain.
and it's Air Supply Chain, correct.
Mhm.
And then there's Boom Draw, as I mentioned, so the two of them will be providing the vibes for the night, and I'm excited because I'm familiar with their taste and what they bring to the table, so I think it'll be a interesting mix, different from what we did in the past too. But I think this one will have a lot of, we'll be able to bring up more young people that can appreciate the hip hop vibe and what we'll have to offer for the night.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
and-
they'll be able to open the event to maybe slightly different demographic than probably another DJ that we would have chosen because Boyd, DJ Boyd played at the first two.
right. I was at I was at the first one.
At the first one at the Haven.
Yeah.
Right, so we expect with this lineup, that some new faces, different faces.
Just diversifying the
Right.
experience.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, because there's so many types of flavors when it comes to hip hop, even eras. You know what I mean? So you can spend time just playing 90s hip hop, and that's its own thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's the early 2000s, and as much as we love those eras, there's still a lot of great hip hop music right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? In fact, a lot of people might say we're in a new golden era in terms of the way the underground is. You know, so it's not necessarily on the mainstream platforms, even though you have artists like, say, a Kendrick, a J. Cole, that are representing the art in a certain way, and they are on these major platforms. But generally, though, there's a lot of great hip-hop, and it's not necessarily beneath the surface. It's still very accessible, but it's still, in a way, underground. And as I said, there's a whole lot of it right now, so it's a good time in the entire culture.
The last time I spoke to you at the event, actually, the first event, you're mentioning some names to me, some of which I knew,
Yeah.
some of which are not known to me. So, you see where you're laughing.
Yeah.
But I'm not talking about new school hip hop artists.
Yeah, man.
Remind me of some of those names because it might ring a bell to some people out there.
Okay, well, right now, like, I think we had a convo about Griselda Records,
Yeah.
which I
West Side
kind of
Gun,
use.
Benny Conway, the
Yeah,
whole link.
West Side Gun, Benny, Conway, the whole of them. I use them as like a marker for people. Like, I feel like if you've heard about Griselda, if you're into them, then you're aware of what's going on in the underground. Because for the past few years, they've been one of the hottest labels in the underground. That's just facts. Whether you like their music or not, they've had a huge impact.
And they've kind of been, in large part, somewhat the blueprint of success for our underground.
Yeah, for that new generation of underground artists.
Yeah.
There's people like Rock Marciano who would have influenced them. There's people like Freddie Gibbs. You know, Freddie Gibbs is
Yeah.
bigger than ever right now.
Yeah.
There's
Is it because
Pusha
of the
T.
beatdown that you got the other day?
Wow. Yeah, I saw that. That's unfortunate for him.
Well, I'm just kidding because
Yeah.
I know Freddie Gibbs a good
Yeah.
while now and his music is on point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So there's lots of, there's an artist I really rate. I've been telling Instincts and the guys about my guy named Loot, who
Yes.
on J. Cole label.
Cole, yes,
yo,
yes.
that album he had named Goldmouth, one of my favorite albums for last year. Not a lot of people listen to him, I realize, but to me, he is like in a similar lane as, Drake, Kendrick, Cole, etc. Controversial to say, but I think he's a better Cole. You know what I mean? Like, I think Cole wants to be Loot.
Okay.
That's how I feel when I hear Loot.
Wow.
You see me? But I rate Loot highly. Like, that album, impactful for me.
Well, I gotta go get it.
Yeah.
I gotta get that album because I the only track I know from him was a track a few years ago with him, J. Cole, and the Baby. I don't know if you remember the track. I can't remember the name.
I know it was on the Dreamville project.
Right,
I think.
right,
Yeah.
right. I have the name right here, but I'll get it after.
Yeah.
So, what's next for the council as a whole?
Man, I can't even tell you. I mean, we're doing the jump off right now. That's for sure. And I mean, we're always in touch. There's things that there's ideas we're bouncing.
Some stuff, all right. So even from a production standpoint, as like I would have handled most of the council's sound from a production wise.
I realized you weren't on the trilogy.
On trilogy,
Yes,
yeah.
he isn't.
Yeah, I was taking a bit of a hiatus from music at the time. And based on where I was headspace wise, I didn't want the guys to not be able to use the opportunity. So I just like, yo, go ahead without me.
That's very good of you to give them the space and everything. But I hope in the near future everything will come back to
Yeah, well, that's what I was just gonna say. That there's some. I mean, I'm always in the lab cooking, So there's some new stuff. We're sprinkling some new spices and seasoning, and so I mean, when things get to the level where I can kind of approach the rest of the man, them Steez, Nomad, and whatever,
Yes,
and be like, here is where I think we can do something musically forward. Then they'll get that. But I mean, outside of that, just in the lab cooking. Always digging for samples. Always, is something that I can't stop doing.
All right. Well, take your time and do your thing. I mean, one of my favorite tracks from you guys, is Gallus Thing.
Mad.
From
Mad.
I play that all the time, up to
mad.
this day, and it's like 5 years ago, near 5 years ago that came out.
Yeah.
2017. I remember when you gave it to me. I remember you guys coming here and we were playing.
We're talking about that 'cause we're trying to remember the first. Like, I think you did the first council interview on radio. We came here maybe September 2017, right after the album came out.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we came back in January 2018.
That's where I had the recording from, the January.
Okay.
Where you guys were doing the freestyle and Corafire was here as well.
Yeah.
Yes, Corner the day off.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah, because that was right before the Apollo. It was the night before
Right,
Apollo
it was right
series.
before Apollo.
And you had DJ'd for us
Yes, I was
at the Apollo series.
Yeah, good times. Why?
Yeah.
Long time I know you guys, and
Yeah.
much respect to you all.
And man, been I do it,
Yeah. And you've always been supporting, bro. And not just us, but the wider scene. Like, I hear you playing other guys from the scene that, I haven't seen in a while, but you're still representing the music.
I love the vibe, and I mean, I haven't been talking to a lot of these people, so most of what I have is the older stuff from them.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm back on air, so if anybody want to send music, it's theaftersun@gmail.com to officially send it, but you can always show me at DJ Elmo Mix. Listen, I love the scene, I love real hip-hop, and hip-hop came from Jamaica, So when I hear the yard hop, it's one of my favorite things. And you guys keep it real. That's what I love about you. I mean, styles change and everything, but you always find a way to make it sound good. And that's what I like.
It's funny you mention even Gallus thing, because I mean, with that song, like, one of the biggest things for us was to sort of bring across or portray the Jamaican experience in our music. I mean, yeah, we make hip-hop music, but I mean, there's a unique Jamaican identity,
And that came out
and
very
we
much in the
wanted to
song.
bring that. So even the name of the song, Gallus Thing, you know what I mean? Even everything down to the name. Although now, I mean, nowadays with Drake and everybody kind of biting off a
trying to copy our
patois,
style, yeah.
it probably wouldn't make a difference. But at the time, it was a big deal for us to kind of.
Well, I will add on and say, like he mentioned Drake, and it's not just Drake, but hip hop has always sampled
from
Jamaican culture, reggae, dancehall ever since the 80s. So this is not new. But I find what makes us, what we do unique, and what truly makes it Jamaican hip hop is not just the patois, you drop in a DJ style, but when you talk about
What's
that
going on?
Jamaican reality, which no
Culture,
one else
yeah.
can talk
Exactly.
about.
What us?
Today's Chub Rock birthday. Today's Chub Rock birthday. Chub Rock is a legendary rapper born in Jamaica, just like man like Heavy D, born in Jamaica. And they've played their part in bigging up Jamaica around the world and hip hop, but they were never telling you about life in Kingston, life in Jamaica, which is what we do. You know what I mean? And you'll continue hearing that in the music and in the art. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, hip hop is kind of about two things: keeping it real and repping where you come from. So you hear
I
about
remember years ago when you know about Razkaz,
Yes, the director.
no,
no man,
rapper.
there's a rapper called Razkaz.
Razkaz.
Had
Think you were right.
fairly moderate success
Yeah.
in the 90s. When his first album came out and they asked him about it and thing, he was saying that, for him, hip hop was always kind of, it was like black people news.
Right.
So it's like for him, you have West and you have East and South and New York and whatever. And for him, it was that thing where you could always kind of get a sense of, all right, so that is how New York is. All right, so when I listen to Rakim and Kane or whatever, all right, I understand how New York live. All right, when I listen to NWA, I understand what's going on in Compton. So that's kind of what hip hop was for us, is a way to sort of communicate what it is to be Jamaican through that genre of music.
I don't want to derail you, and we don't have much time left. But quickly tell me what you think about the whole scene now, especially like the drill stuff in New York drill, and some of these newer artists. Just an overall thing, not long. We might have to delve into it another time.
Let's think say something quick and I will say something after.
All right, so the thing about it is, I feel like hip hop has gotten to a place now where we can clearly say that I think there are clear sub-genres. Not like, I guess you could make an argument that there were before, but they weren't as clear-cut as...
Right. And I must say, over the past 7 years or so, when the whole mumble rap thing came, that kind of just... It's like on one level for everything, and it was getting kind of monotonous. I've seen some changes now. Still, you hear me play a few Lil Durk here. I don't know how I get to like him, but I kind of like his music, Lil Durk. But yeah, go ahead. What you're saying?
But the thing about it is, Elmo, that I think that a part of the challenge that a lot of the newer styles of hip hop have, in terms of acceptance, and some of the reason why there's this back and forth between the old heads and the younger people and whatever, is that I think there was a point where everything was being sort of presented as all of this is hip hop. And so if you grew up on Nas, Biggie, Tupac, Rakim, Ray,
Right. You wouldn't consider some of those
in
things
your
hip-hop.
brain,
Yeah, you wouldn't consider
you're
some of those-
pre-programmed to expect certain things from
Expect
hip
the
hop.
word- yeah, because when I think of hip hop, I think of clarity in what you're
Right.
saying, wordplay, certain types of cadences.
So I think where drill and mumble rap and thing would have been served a lot better. Is if in the beginning they sort of came out and they were like, yo, this is a subgenre.
Subgenre, right.
And these are the parameters that our subgenre
Right.
sort of follow. So
and I
don't
think-
judge us by the same parameters as Biggie. And that would be fine.
Yeah, but they always had a way of. The thing is, with black music, it's either it's hip hop or it's R&B. They didn't seek to separate them. So I just saying, everything.
I
bunch
guess
under
the
one
combination is even worse because in the 90s when 97, like later 90s, early 2000s, it was all urban music. So them wasn't even trying to break it into
urban. That's the
So
thing.
them wasn't
you know,
even trying to break it out into reggae, hip hop, R&B, or whatever. It was all
That's
urban.
urban. As I said, that they categorize all black people in one.
I mean,
black
we,
music, I should say.
We
in one
categorize
genre.
all the music together as well, because I think Stinks is right about right now there are definitely different subgenres, but even the hip hop media still labels it all as hip hop. And
I think that's a part of the problem. There's this
Yeah.
video
It's a
with
part of the
Lil Uzi Vert, where they had him on I trying
Okay.
to remember
One more minute. Go ahead.
which platform. I
Sorry,
think it
go
was
ahead.
Breakfast Club, and they were playing some beats from Biggie or whatever, and like him was also like, yo, him not really.
no, it was
rate
it was,
them
it was
Right.
Lil Yachty. It was
It-
Lil
Lil
Yachty.
Yachty.
It was Lil Yachty.
Yeah.
and that did create this whole thing. But I understood what was happening is two different sub genres that you're trying to.
Right.
And not
So-
the
and so
subgenres, but
eras.
generations.
Right.
Exactly.
Different eras.
So there's this younger generation that isn't as familiar with what we came up on, and also the generation is programmed differently. So they're not necessarily doing the knowledge and doing the history to learn about what happened before.
Right. And things these days are so fast, you know.
Yeah.
Right now, everything there's all the information on the phone and on Google, but they're not really looking
They're
for
not
it.
going
It's
to
just
come
what
out
is
there. It's
presented
just
to them
presented to them.
already by the algorithm.
The algorithms. Just
So people are just following what is current. They're not doing the
Right.
knowledge. They're not learning, and they're just following what's going on. So they don't really understand where things come from, but they're doing their own thing. You know what I mean? So all of these things are part of the family of hip hop, but some of them, like what we do, are just more hip hop than others. It's closer to the root and to the tradition.
I wouldn't say more hip hop. I'd say
It's closer to the
more
tradition.
traditional.
right,
Yeah.
more traditional than
Yeah.
others, right?
All right, guys. I don't want this to go too long because we're running out of time.
Yeah.
But before we go to the freestyle, because I know some always want to get
Yeah.
freestyle. You have a page for the jump off, because if people don't remember, they can go to the page and know when it's keeping. So how can they find information about the jump off?
Okay, the Jump Off JA, and that's on Instagram and that's on Twitter.
Okay, Instagram and Twitter, the jump off J.
The jump off JA.
Correct.
All right. So, all right. So we don't have much time. I always want you guys to do a freestyle when they come. So,
That sound like Steez in it.
sound like Steez. So you're out of practice.
Yeah, brother. Good couple years while I've been just focusing on production.
On
so,
production, yeah.
yeah.
All right, no problem. Steez, I'm gonna play a beat. Like, it might not be as high paced as.
I was about to say, I hope it's a beat I like.
I'll speed it up a little and we'll just drop it. It's a bad beat still from a little while back, but
And sir, I don't want to get some footage but coming like the phone. Buck. You know the
Right.
thing go.
all right. Well, we have our little recording set up right there, so if we work with that alone, then. All right, so I'll get a beat and I just do a thing.
All right. Yeah, this is Kingston, home of the big guns. Babylon circle the ends, a man get digged on. Let it not be a weapon in your possession. The police profession cause funeral processions. I'm a cop murderer and music is the method. I load up 16s and I shoot it on the record. General mind state, my movement is protected. My links hail the king and hit Buddha for the lessons. Maneuver with some effort, stay safe in the streets. The city life make you vacate for a week, but we still broke. Payday, we are cheap. Politicians spoke, we say yay, we are sheep. Preacher give hope, survival in the Bible, yet people raise the rifle. Yes, it's all a cycle. Don't think this life's new, it's like this since high school. So that's what I do, everything I write true. Welcome to my yard. This the first coast, and we the most verbose. Welcome to my yard. This the first coast. Elmo, 5 Steez and Inztinkz. I was expecting a different beat, but I just dropped something same way.
Let me see how good the ear is though, the sample, right?
Yeah.
You know what it have in common?
What?
Ghostface, Mighty Healthy.
Oh, word.
Yeah? This sample, well, I don't know about the sample, but the track was Snoop Dogg and Wiz Khalifa, Kush Ups.
Push ups.
And this was around 2016 or 17. I've been
And
going
that
back.
sample in the background.
Word.
No surprise there.
The
because
music for Ghostface, Mighty Healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's it. Yeah. It's only familiar now.
Yeah. I mean, with
I don't know why I
Khalifa-
know this useless
No, but
information.
you what do you mean? Why you don't?
It's
You don't
years
know
of
why.
it's years of it's
Listen,
years
tell you
of,
something. It's
years of digging, and
exactly.
I just know this random useless information.
It's not random and useless for a hip hop producer.
Exactly.
You understand?
I mean,
or for a DJ.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Once,
yeah.
once,
I mean?
once you listen to something, you like it, and then you might not hear it for a long time, but once you hear it or hear it sampled, it's gonna just come up in your memory.
Yeah.
And I realized that too as a DJ. All right, guys. We only have 3 minutes left, but I wanted to plug all information. So it's the Jump Off JA on
Correct.
Instagram and Twitter.
Yes, the Jump Off JA, and the Jump Off is next Saturday. That is at the bar, 30 Haining Road. There's no admission, no cover charge. You're forward. We have Air Supply Chain, formerly DJ Sawandi. We have Boom Draw, hip hop and R&B all night, 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. right at the bar.
Forward.
All right, and
It's free.
I won't ask about the concert, but where can we follow you guys?
You can find us all on Twitter, Instagram, Inztinkz. Spell that for them, please.
INZTINKZ. I keep the same handle across all social media, so Twitter, IG,
Facebook.
is the same thing.
yeah.
And then I'm 5 Steez, FIVESTEEZ. And that is everywhere. Twitter, Instagram. I'm also on TikTok. Yeah.
All right. Well,
So, yeah, man, you can find us well easy.
all right. I hope I don't see
And I
that's
try
what
to
it is.
commune with the youth. TikTok.
That's what I hope to say. I hope I don't see these annoying TikTok videos, travesties. Please.
No annoying videos.
That's funny.
The only, I did a challenge the other day, you know what I'm saying? Just spitting on something. But if any type of content I'm doing, it's going to be music related.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for coming. We'll fill the time properly, and we're not going to go over time, and that's good. So I'm looking forward to the party next week. I'm gonna try to, get this equipment put away after the show and come down there.
Okay.
All right, so and that's the bar. So here we're gonna go out with the classic tune from you guys.
Yeah, listen, man.
Council again, and it's the first course again, You see me? Council again, and it's the first course again, But hear me, I said, straight gal is thing, but you not gonna hear me sing. I feel I might just give her the ring or some bling, that type of thing, something more than a fling. The G-string show up the fat beast thing, the pan a beast thing.